A crocodile takes a child. But this is a very unusual crocodile, a philosophical one. And instead of doing what crocodiles do, it offers the parent a deal. The crocodile says, I will return your child if, and only if, you correctly predict what I am about to do. So tell me, will I give the child back or not? It sounds like a fair game. It is not a fair game. The parent is about to give an answer that traps the crocodile in a loop it cannot escape. And that same loop, taken seriously, ended up breaking mathematics itself. Stay with me. The parent thinks for a moment, and then says the one thing that breaks everything. You will not give my child back. That's the prediction. You will not return the child. Now watch what that does to the crocodile. Suppose the crocodile decides to keep the child. Then the parent's prediction, you will not return the child, just came true. The parent predicted correctly. But the deal was that a correct prediction means the child must be returned. So by keeping the child, the crocodile is forced to give it back. All right, so suppose instead the crocodile returns the child. Then the parent's prediction was wrong. The crocodile did return it. But the deal was that only a correct prediction earns the child back. A wrong prediction means the crocodile keeps the child. So by returning it, the crocodile proves it should have kept it. So look at where the crocodile is. If it keeps the child, it has to return it. If it returns the child, it should have kept it. Every single thing it can do makes it break its own promise. There is no action available that keeps the deal. The crocodile has been logically frozen solid. Now, you might feel like this is just a trick with words. A clever sentence. So what? But hold on to that feeling. Because that exact so what is what everyone said, right up until it wasn't. The crocodile isn't alone. It belongs to a family of paradoxes thousands of years old, and the ancestor of them all is one sentence. This statement is false. Read it again. If it's true, then it's false. If it's false, then it's true. It flips forever and never lands. It's called the liar paradox, and it's been annoying philosophers since ancient Greece. Here's another. In a village, the barber shaves every man who does not shave himself, and only those men. Simple rule. Now, who shaves the barber? If he shaves himself, then he's a man who shaves himself, so by the rule he mustn't. If he doesn't, then he's a man who doesn't shave himself, so by the rule he must. Same trap, different costume. Every one of these has the same beating heart. Self-reference. A statement that talks about itself. A rule that has to be applied to its own maker. A prediction about the very action it's trying to predict. Whenever a system is forced to point back at itself, this crack appears. And for centuries, people assumed it was a curiosity, a bug in careless language, nothing that could touch real, rigorous mathematics. Early in the 20th century, mathematicians had a dream. They wanted to build all of mathematics on a perfect foundation, a set of basic rules from which every true statement could, in principle, be proven. No gaps, no contradictions. A complete, airtight machine for truth. The greatest minds alive were pouring years into it. Then in 1931, a quiet 25-year-old logician named Kurt Gödel walked in and, very politely, ended the dream. He did something devastating. He took the liar paradox. This statement is false, and figured out how to write a version of it in the pure language of mathematics itself. He built a mathematical sentence that said, in effect, this statement cannot be proven. Now think about what that sentence does. If the sentence can be proven, then it's provable, but it says it can't be proven, so the system just proved something false. That's a catastrophe. So to stay honest, the system cannot prove it. But that means the sentence is true. It genuinely can't be proven. And here's a true statement the system will never, ever reach. Gödel had found a truth that lives permanently outside the machine. And this wasn't a flaw in one particular tower. Gödel proved something far worse. He proved it happens to every possible tower, which means the thing he really discovered isn't about maths at all. It's about the limits of knowing anything. This is Gödel's incompleteness theorem, and it's one of the most important results in human history. It says that any logical system rich enough to do basic arithmetic will always contain true statements it cannot prove. You can add the missing truth as a new rule, but the moment you do, a brand new, unprovable truth appears. You can never patch all the holes. The completeness people dreamed of is not difficult. It is impossible. And the reach of this is staggering. It set hard limits on what computers can ever do. Alan Turing built on Gödel's idea to prove there are problems no algorithm can ever solve, which is part of the bedrock of computer science. It touched physics, philosophy, our understanding of the mind. All of it traceable back to one crack. The crack you first met when a cartoon crocodile made a promise it could not keep. Here's the reframe worth keeping. We tend to assume that if something is true, then with enough effort it can be proven. Gödel showed that's just not how reality is built. Truth is bigger than proof. There are things that are so, that we will never be able to demonstrate are so. That's not a failure of our cleverness. It's a permanent feature of logic itself, and a strange kind of humility baked into the universe. So what happens to the child? Logically, nothing can. The crocodile is stuck forever, and honestly, that's the safest place for the child to be. But the paradox was never really about the crocodile. It was a 5,000-year-old crack in the floor of logic, waiting for someone to look down. A crocodile, a liar, a barber, and a quiet logician with a bow tie. All of them holding up the same small mirror to logic and finding that it cannot fully contain itself. The most rigorous system we ever built has a room inside it that it can see, but can never enter. So next time someone says, if it's true, you should be able to prove it, you'll know about the crocodile. Hit subscribe. Next time we're pulling on another thread that unravels more than it should. See you there.